First Samuel chapter 7 verses 1 through 54. How to recycle your killer instinct. Jesus, your Holy One, amazing. Thank you for working with messy humanity. That you identify yourself with the poor, the downtrodden, the ones that are marginalized by others. But yet, there's so many nuances and there's so much. You don't wait for humanity to get their act together. You come down and partner with us. And we thank you. So as we read the writings of the ancients, please reveal to us what it means to them, and also in turn what it means now, in light of your goodness. Amen. How to recycle your killer instinct. The Philistines gathered their forces for battle. They gathered at Soko, belonging to Judah, and camped between Soko and Azekah, at Ephes and Daman. Saul and the Israelites gathered and camped in the Elah Valley, and drew up their battle lines to meet the Philistines. The Philistines were standing on one mountain, and Israel was staying on another mountain with the raven between them. So it's like you got two hills. Philistines on this hill, Israelites on this hill. And they're... He stood and called to the rank of Israel and said to them, "Why would you come out and line up for battle? I am indeed the Philistine, and you are Saul's servant. Choose yourself someone to come down against me. If he can do battle with me and strike me down, we will become your servants. If I can overcome him and strike him down, you will become our servants and serve us." In verses 10 and 25, Goliath issues his challenge for 40 days, but no Israelites volunteers to take him on. On one occasion, David arrives with provisions for his brothers. David said to the men standing by him, "What will be done for the man who strikes down the Philistine and removes reproach from Israel? Because who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he has reproached the ranks of the living God?" The things David said were heard and were told to Saul, and he got hold of him. David said to Saul, "A person's heart should not fail him. Your servant will go and fight with that Philistine." Saul said to David, "You cannot go to this Philistine and fight with him, because you are a boy, and he has been a warrior from his boyhood." David said to Saul, "Your servant has been shepherding the flock for his father. When the lion or a bear comes and carries off a sheep from the flock, I go after it, strike it down, and rescue the sheep from its mouth. If it rises up against me, I seize it by the beard, and strike it down and kill it. Both lion and bear your servant has struck down. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, because he has reproached the ranks of the living God." David said, "Yahweh, who rescued me from the hand of the lion and bear, he will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." In verses 38 to 44, Saul gets David to put on his armor, but it's too big. David advances on Goliath with his cane, 5 stones from the wash, and his sling. David said to the Philistines, "You come at me sword, spear, and javelin, but I come to you in the name of Yahweh armies, God of the rank of Israel, whom ye have reproached. This day Yahweh will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you down and cut off your head." Verses 47 to 54 relate how David fells Goliath with stone from his sling and cuts off his head. The Philistines run, and the Israelites give chase. This is the part. I don't know what movie you watch, but I mean, this is a very popular, like, even in TV shows or movies where they talk about David versus Goliath, the small dude versus large dude. Yeah, people mention this as examples for stuff all the time. But for a lot of people, it's all about the big guy versus the little guy. But it's actually about serving Yahweh. Size, stature doesn't matter. What it is a heart towards Yahweh and having his rule and reign happen here on earth, and declaring allegiance to him. So the Philistine was going against the people that Yahweh had made a covenant with. And so the others were not trusting David. I mean, they were not trusting Yahweh. But David was like, who is this guy? Let's take care of him. Like, he defies us, which is also defying Yahweh. Because at that time, since they made allegiance to Yahweh, talking smack about them is also talking smack about your God. Well, actually, there's nothing here about Yahweh. They're all talking. He gives David victory. But there is no, like, mention. Here, Yahweh just uses natural gifts. Like, just makes them, like, you talk about luck. There's luck when you have Yahweh with you, when he enables it. But that doesn't mean you guarantee on it. You don't serve him for luck. Yep, you serve him serve him. Declare allegiance to him because you find him to be good. You don't try using him. But then after Jesus' death and resurrection, like, the person who was the closest to Yahweh died. And so sometimes purpose for serving Yahweh is to die for him. It was the Oscars last weekend. I went to a great jazz concert 2 blocks away, though I was nearly late because of the road closures in Hollywood. And against the odds, the Hurt Locker beat Avatar, which grows 50 times as much. How did David beat Goliath? The press asked. Last night, Merrimack College played Boston University hockey. I went to a jazz concert 3,000 miles away. And Merrimack coach said it was like David playing Goliath. David took an early lead but eventually lost. Another reporter comments that nearly all sports movies adopt David and Goliath trajectory, but it then carries over into politics, such as those of an upcoming British election. While in Florida, a senatorial candidate yesterday agreed that his campaign could make people think of David against Goliath, and he reminded them that David won. In the UK, the most popular technology story of this week was the David and Goliath battle between Microsoft and i4i. Not really clear what that means, but I suspected that David and Goliath can't come in the wrong order for the metaphor to work. Traveling around Silicon Valley last week, another reporter tells us that he heard the David versus Goliath story over and over again. So you see, like, it's that people... Yeah, they reference it, kind of the small guy versus the large guy. Yeah, it's all, yeah. We clearly have a powerful storyline here, and it's worth knowing what the original version does with it. First, the Philistines have a really sensible idea about how to wage war. In traditional societies, war is generally waged by the entirety of the adult male community, as it was in effect the case in modern societies. For instance, in 1939-1945 war, no intention with this, just war theory, maintains a distinction between combatants and civilians. Combatants and civilians. Civilians, my gosh. Why did I say civilians? Civilians. Yeah, civilians. I don't know why my tongue got tied on that word. Civilians. While a war such as that in Iraq was fought by a professional army, the Philistines worked with the idea that the battle should be decided by one guy from each side fighting each other. Whatever side's champion wins, they will now... Okay. It was in effect the case in modern societies, for instance, the 1939-1945 war. No intention with this, just war theory maintains a distinction between combatants and civilians. While a war such as that in Iraq was fought by a professional army, the Philistines worked with the idea that the battle should be decided by one guy from each side fighting each other. Whichever side's champion wins, they will now be top dog and henceforth will be in charge. The side whose champion loses will obey their orders. It would be even more simple if the decision could be taken on the basis of, say, a game of chess or soccer, or a knitting competition. Of course, the Philistines are convinced that they cannot lose. Goliath is 10 feet tall, and it's perhaps not surprising that when their champion loses, they forget the sensible rule they proposed. What bothers David is the reproach Goliath brings on Israel. At one level, is not much of an argument. Yet when a team loses a game or an army loses a battle, it is ashamed. It crawls back home and it wants to hide in disgrace. This is illogical but real. David cares about Israel's honor. On the other hand, there's more to his concern than this. His concern is that Goliath is bringing reproach and shame on the army of the living God. When a church does something shameful, as if, this brings discredit on God. When Israel quakes in fear before the Philistines and their champion, this brings discredit on God. It is the price God pays for setting up an association with the people. David knows this and is passionately concerned to do something about it. David holds together his confidence in himself and his confidence in God, seeing the two as interwoven. He is not a mere shepherd boy who has no experience of fighting. He has fought lions and bears and lived to tell a tale. Those battles will already have demonstrated to him that the outcome of a fight can be decided not by how big you are, but by how clever or how brave you are. Yet David also knows that he might not have escaped from the lion or the bear unless God had also been involved. Though he may not know how these two considerations interweave, he knows that they do. No courage and shrewdness, and he dies. No involvement of God, and he dies. He has needed both and will need both again. Maybe it's also significant that in his argument with Saul, his experience of successful fighting has the first word, but his conviction that God will rescue him has the last word. The basis for that conviction is that God is Yahweh armies. David knows that God really does have all power in the heavens and on the earth, and he knows that God is prepared to use it. God is not merely sovereign in people's religious and personal lives, but in the world's political and military life. God has the power and is prepared to use it, but God characteristically uses it on behalf of someone like David, not on behalf of someone like Goliath, who hardly needs it in theory. What God delights to do is turn odds upside down. When God acts, as Hannah put it near the beginning of 1 Samuel, the bows of warriors are broken, and people who are falling gain strength. Because it is not by might. So here's the super glitch. You ready? Because it's not by might that a person prevails. David's story is a good news for little people. In a way, David's entire character comes out in the story. I suggested that being a man after God's heart needn't mean what we think it means. It simply indicates that David was someone God chose. But you can see why David will become a man after God's heart in that other sense. David manifests a commitment to Yahweh and a trust in Yahweh, the like of which we can hardly see before in the Old Testament. It is a shame that, as in the case of Saul, David's first moments are also his best moments. All right, friend, we can start. I'll be right back. Oh my god. Hmm. Paying so attention on the big robot in the middle that got too close to the Scorp. Such a good run. Ah. What's up, Eldion Warrior? I imagine it's pretty late for you now. Got that. This is usually around this time. Monday through Friday. I might be on. Never no guarantees though. Can't make promises. I could do probablys. So 11:30, but how did your project go? Oh. Get some money. Let's see if we get a tavern. Nice. Bring me back when I was in high school. Every day, Monday to Friday, I would come to church after school and just play Super Smash Bros. I say our little group got pretty decent. Definitely not esport level. But we're pretty decent in our little huddle of us. Oh man. I'll get good being distracted someday. Oh. Oh. Okay. What were you guys playing? I gotta do something that will give me immediate victory over current super enchanted guys. Lightning's really good. Do that. I see. So armor is considered a soul hearts. I'll try not to. No promises. Oof. Woo! Tense beans right there, man. Yeah. I have these really good runs and then I get stopped by like something really insignificant. Last one was with a scorpion. Yeah, I have the strength. I need to take care of the ads. Ah, man. Oh, buddy. How many? So, see that right there? So I was playing the high cinder. There's a chance of enchantment, and there's a 75% chance of another enchantment, and 75% of another enchantment. So this guy's running 3 enchantments. Bones, all that armor, the meters is from those enchantments. That makes this game so hard, especially the early levels, because you're going against all of these. All right, I need to start swinging. What? I dodged through that. Darn you, game! For now. Want the item, but every soul heart is power. Oh, feels so hard. Feel my power. Whew. That's fun. So you're able to just play your game out with your friend? Oh man. I should have grabbed the weapon. Weapons is what makes a difference in this game. Alright. That's taken care of. Oh man. I'm better than this. Yeah, I just need distance. I can't. I'd have to just dash through when I'm that close. Oh yeah, it's the first time I've ever done that. Oh yeah, you're doing your Half-Life. Right, your Half-Life 2 mod. Wave-based crafting. Yeah, I'll love to check it out. I mean, I haven't played a Half-Life Base 2 mod in forever. It's been ages. What do we have here? Shut up. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm ready to just let myself die. It's gonna take so long because they all have. I'll keep pushing. At least I'll try. Oh, you don't want to. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Well, I mean, this game isn't multiplayer, so. And my cousin has built a lot of mods for Minecraft. That's like his creative output. Well, but actually he is making a game also. Pumps? Oh my gosh. I was looking around for secrets, not paying attention to that little worm by me. Alright, let's get the Dex. This thing, see if we get something that will just carry us through the boss. Decent weapon. Pick it. Oh, this is one where I focus him down, don't take on ads. We gotta summon him. Oh yeah, I mean, if you have that, I would definitely play it. I like things with endings. What is this? Screen 25. What? There's this bomber set. So it grants 25% increased bomb area radius, and boom, boom, boom. You have infinite bombs. That's crazy. But I have to get the other set. Well, also will give me, like, I don't ever have to gather bombs, which will be pretty nice. Hmm. I love do it. Wow. Wait, what? Oh, it needs to attune. I see. All right. All right. Feel like this is a course here. I don't have the software. Actually, I could probably do this in game. Oh. Let's see, let's maybe that number 1. All right. Hey, I can't wait to get. I have not been able to have it yet. Where on the Bioinvite, where you actually heal by bomb explosions. Hmm. Corsair. I would just like be able to set it so that when I am clicking the left mouse, I'm also clicking Q. There we go. I had Corsair on here. It's probably IQ. I wish, but I wouldn't. Actually, I'm being a silly goose. Let's see if it takes over each other. So if they take over, then it won't. Yeah. So it looks like I need. Oh, I think it's IQ. Yeah. Yep, it's IQ. Mm-hmm. Okay. So your mom said it's okay for if to stay to 5:30. Oh, I guess I already had it installed. Of course I did. Oh. Oh. There it is. Here it is. I just need to. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah. I grew up with a very angry mom, also, so I get that. Doesn't feel like anything you do is right. That's rough. Sorry, friend. Mm. Sorry, friend. Yeah. I've also learned that people like to. They want you to think it. Mm. Well, let me pray. That's the. Because you're all the way in Poland, so obviously I can't physically meet you. But let me pray. I can do that because I believe in the good God who created the world and is always wanting to step down, be with his creation. Christ, your own for amazing. Be with Eldion Warrior. Thank you, good King, for him coming around, this friendship that has started this last week. You are holy and true. And as you created the world and dwell among your people through your spirits, please be with my friend. Be with the family dynamic. May we always be revealed that the Garden of Eden, we had a choice to either choose wisdom on our own or look to you and choose you for our wisdom, choose you for our decision. And the rest of Genesis reveals what happens when humanity chooses ourselves over you. So through your wisdom, reveal what that looks like, what self-choosing wisdom looks like. And this looks like backbiting, pain, and anger. May we all just humble ourselves and see how you operate. Operate like King Jesus. You're the good serving. And reveal to him that you are alive and well. You have resurrected. You're the good God. Amen. It's all because of the work that King Jesus has done for me. You know, I used to really did not think there was no meaning to existence until realizing who Jesus is, declaring allegiance to him, and the constant studying, meditating on the scripture. How scripture always shows the human condition, the human problem. How living is by serving the other. Like we have a choice to see stuff that's beautiful and take it, like Eve. Like she saw the fruit was beautiful. And Adam was there. So they saw the fruit was beautiful. And they took it. It's like, it's always choosing not to take things that I find as beautiful, but always look towards Yahweh's wisdom. There's times where on this earth, on lands, that I can take within his wisdom and enjoy good food, enjoy good drinks, enjoy good video games. But I have to operate his wisdom. I have to operate within his framework for me to truly enjoy it. Because that's a fulfilled life. King Jesus had a fulfilled life, and he gave his life, which is bonkers. And he ruled by giving his life, which is bonkers. I want that lived life where ruling looks like serving, where ruling looks like dying on the cross like King Jesus. And because I ruled like him in serving, I also resurrect and rule through resurrection. Yeah, and I want that for you too, my friend. There it is. It's keystroke. Man, I'm not figuring out the software. All right, I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be right back, my friend. So I guess when the software needed to restart, turn out and need to restart the computer. Not the application. Oh, that's what you get for hitting restart without reading it. I thought I just said application. So I lost the bomb run. See if I run into it again. Everything back up so I can see. Tiny rogues. All right. Yeah, dude, 12:30. Yeah. All right, my friend. Love you. Have a good night. Thank you for popping in and sharing. It's always hard to be vulnerable, and you are already braver than most adults. So thank you. Have a good night. I won't say most, but a lot of adults. Nice. Go insist. Spirits. Ah. Well, thanks, man. Oh. Oh, man. Let's take it. Yeah. The question is always with that bravery, where is it directed? Is it directed towards self? Or for the other? Because humanity is bent inward. And I will always challenge myself and challenge the other to let's embrace the system, embrace a God King who is the most unselfish person in the world. And I will always talk about King Jesus. I find him to be the true hope for myself, hope for other. But I get that oversharing. That's something I had to work on myself, but I was definitely always afraid. Definitely afraid in my high school era of talking to. I was okay. I was not scared of like talking, but being vulnerable and sharing that I had feelings. Oh man, shiver me timbers. Cause I was good at making jokes. I was really good at being funny. Hello, Game Legend. That's great. Wait, a very living a full life before Sheol. I'm concerned if he made it through the ages. Oh, darn it. All right. Some curse meat. Oh, I keep looking up through chat. I'm going to blame that, besides my lack of skills. What's up, Game Legend? If I remember right, you're from India, if I can say my memory is correct. You're my India friend. Oh, yeah. How was it? I remember it was something from India. Go for it. It's all the nostalgia nods. Great. Ah. There we go. Yeah, Brotato, I completely beaten that game. Enjoyed it. But yeah, this game's kind of like a mix between Brotato. Trying to think of another good bro game. It's kind of like whew. The mace is really saving me right now. You want to play Brotato on easy mode? Play it on your phone. That is easy mode Brotato. Yeah, I beat it on all the difficulties. I didn't like go full crazy where I did on every character because I just don't. The only one where I might beat it on every character because I just really enjoy it. Ooh, angry beetles. Am I encumbered? Okay, good. Ah. There we go. Soundtrack in this game, though, is such a slap. You know what? There we go. Oh, he has super armor. What's going on for him? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I need to close the door. It was left open. Oh, man. Ah, there you go. I had to look it up. Had to quickly look up what kilograms of pounds. Aw. Thanks, mate. Ooh. Not very useful right now, but... Alright. Oh, yes, sword. start. Maybe I should have gotten the aura. Ah. Okay, I swear. I'd say it's just one of those days, you know, where you get killed by simplest things that you know doesn't need to kill you. Ugh. Alright, I'm just gonna alternate between characters. I'm so focused on the Deprive that I need to change it up a bit. Alright, pole arm, doppelganger, yet the gunslinger. I need to go into the high heavens, I said? I'm also playing the hardest difficulty where it's very complex. Or just, it has that get good modifier. Okay, high heavens or... All right, switching up. Oh, it feels nice to play some. Oh. Oh, once you have a range. That's funny. I have never watched those, but I can see that. Must have missed it. All right. Let's take care of the ads. Oh, what? I thought I was out of range. I always live stream. Well, I stream on all of them, so. It is what it is, especially when you start talking about Jesus. A lot of people just are not about that. Nope. I should have done it right there. Oh no. I have like no strength whatsoever. But one. Oh. Huh. That weapon so much. That's really good. That too. Yeah, there's a lot of like here like I'm not on live streaming. I'm not like I generally am on during certain hours, but I can never guarantee I am. But that's not until we go overseas for missions work. Interesting. I'm curious. Can you have negative? Can you go below 0 strength? Yep, you can. Okay. I'm entirely convinced that one can argue that Yahweh is too good of a religion, actually. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah. When you take out the goodness of Jesus, the religion can be very, as what you experience, hell. Oh, darn it, I got too close. Nope, darn it. I think it's good to just always study, meditate, and discuss it. And that is what community and teachers in the community help with that. You know, always, because when we study the Bible, shoot, it's written depending on how you date it, 2,000 to 3,000 years old. And so you have a different time period. They're wrestling with different things. I think if the teacher is not fully, like if the Christian teacher is not fully like on board with King Jesus, you can make Christianity detrimenting like the medieval ages religion. Whereas more about lords and more about lords and all that stupid, all that garbage. Legitimately antithetical to the message of King Jesus. Man, you are chunky. Get away from me. I have no idea what changing third name means. Oh. I mean, I think it's good to, you know, educate yourself, seeing how the world wrestles out the human condition. Like, what is humanity's problem? You know, that's what the humanities are for. The liberal arts are for. I think it's like even deeper than that, like seeing how the ancients wrestled with that. Like when I talk about Eve and she saw that, like she saw that the tree was pleasurable in the eye for taking. Like you see that kind of repeated throughout the First Testament is pleasure in the eyes and take. And so the Bible will show like something truly evil, like by that motif, that repeated sequence. Like you have that with Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, where they took Hagar, saw that she was good for making a family, they took her. And so it's like then King Jesus like was taken on the cross, took and died. Like as that kind of stuff, like humbling yourself. Like if I go to India, Poland, I take anywhere. If I go with just like some American assumptions, like I'm gonna miss out being in your culture. Well, speaking of religion classes, actually it's time for Broheim and I to go through reading step. Okay, so after you use your ult, let's go through reading step. So, I welcome you guys into, we're going to read the scriptures together and then read a really good commentary to help explain what the hell we just read. So, you guys are welcome. Welcome to join us. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, if it doesn't, I think it should. Like, and I'll say, I will say who you put your trust in, because I will argue, and I will make a point that I will state my position that the difference between Christianity and other religions is Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He goes, "I am." Like any other religion says, "I have created a path, so now do what I do or follow my system." And so that is for all the Christianity and all the different system. If they do not declare allegiance to King Jesus and say that he is the truly human one, the one that we like have all hope of living the good life, like then it's not Christianity, it's something different. They can claim it, but even the scriptures that we look towards to says like, unless you believe like in the resurrection, look at Jesus as the truly reason to love and serve your neighbor like he did, and he empowers us to do that, then it's a fake Christianity. It's cheap grace, as Dietrich Bonhoeffer will say it. Like, clinging to Jesus needs to cost you, and needs to cause absolute declare of allegiance. You need help cooking your sandwich? Okay. All right, I'll be back, friends. Also, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, super rad dude. Google him. Yeah, I've been there where you got a question, is this still useful? Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready for me to start reading. Oh, they're strong too. Frozen. They're just strong boys. They pay more attention, Corey. Guy's always, he's one of the hardest bosses. All right. Elden Warrior. Love you, man, friend. You have a good night. May King Jesus, his shalom, his peace shine upon you, over your family. May it be a peace that transcends, like, where the hell is this from? So good night. Find hope in the good news of the gospel. Oh. Ah. That was fun. I need to do this. Get variety so I don't get brain stuck. Well, I don't think I locked. As a soldier, you're the bandit. You're the warrior. Hero. Knight. I did. Have the soldier yet? As the bandit. So yeah, Charlie, let me know whenever you're ready, okay? I have it till I start, but it makes it a lot longer to level up in the future, though. Infusion effects are fusion buffs are permanent. It is what it is. I don't. I do my best not to let it get to me. But then also I do it for yeah. For me, it's my ministry, my mission work. Is this permanent? In the resin? Oh, is it permanent? Oh, such a silly goose. Didn't notice that permanent effect. That's hilarious. That's a game changer. That transcend. So pretty much now, any of those things I have that add like elemental to stuff, I didn't know there was a permanent upgrade to make it so they always stay with me now. They're not a temporary shindig. Really good. He's a money guy. I'm using money to pay. I'll do this. It is. Oh, thanks, Game Legend. 353. $353. Yeah, you want to rewrite now? Do it. All right. I also do stream on Twitch and other places, so it's not a complete lack of notice wall that you're saying, my friend. Thank you, though. Seriously, it means a lot for you to say that. All right. Geez, you're amazing. Thank you that through your scriptures you show just how humanity we're messed up. We give power to empires, to systems. We think that they're hope, but it always turns out that humanity's bent inward. We are not capable unless we're changed from the inside to love and care for the other. We're not capable to have systems where people are served and loved. We need you. Thank you for creating humanity, and when we always choose ourselves, you don't give up, but you step in. You don't wait for us to get our crap together. You just step in and partner with us. Thank you for partnering by sending your son, King Jesus. Thank you that we laid our sins on him and it could not hold him down. The empires did their worst. They put him to death, but since he was innocent, death could not hold on to him, and he resurrected. And your resurrected body is pretty sweet, Jesus. You could teleport. You still eat fish. I can't wait for the new heaven, new earth. So may we look to you as our hope. Amen. How to be a dysfunctional royal family. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 55 to chapter 18, verse 16. When Saul saw David going out to meet the Philistine, he said to Abner, the army commander, "Whose son is the boy?" Abner. Abner said, "By your life, your majesty, I don't know." King Saul said, "You ask whose son the young man is. When David came back from striking down the Philistines, Abner got him and brought him before Saul, with the Philistine's head in his hand. So remember, he just got done killing Goliath. Saul said to him, whose son are you, my boy? David said, the son of your servant Jesse the Bethlehemite. When he had finished speaking to Saul, Jonathan's very self became bound to David's self. Jonathan became as loyal to him as he was to himself. Saul took David that day and did not let him go back to his father's household. Jonathan and David sealed a covenant because Jonathan was as loyal to him as to his own self. Jonathan took off the coat he had on and gave it to David, and his shirt along with his sword, his bow, and his belt. On all the missions Saul sent him, David will succeed, and Saul sent him over the men of war. This was good in the eyes of the whole company, and also in the eyes of Saul's servants. When the men came home and David got back from striking down the Philistine, the women came out from all the cities in Israel singing and dancing when they met King Saul, with tambourines, with festivities, and with guitars. The woman proclaimed as they played, and said, Saul struck down his thousands, David his 10,000s. But it vexed Saul very much. This thing was bad in his eyes. Oh, there's the eyes. Bad in his eyes. He said, they have given David 10,000s and given me thousands. Only the kingship will now be his. Saul was watching David from that day on. Next day, a bad spirit from God erupted on Saul, and he prophesied inside the house while David was playing, as he did each day. There was a spear in Saul's hand. Saul threw the spear. He said, I'll pin David to the wall. But David eluded him twice. Saul was afraid of David because Yahweh was with him and had moved away from Saul. Saul removed him from his presence and made him head of 1,000. So he went out and came in before the company. David was successful in all his ventures. Yahweh was with him. Saul saw that he was very successful, and he was terrified of him. But all Israel and Judah were loyal to David because he went out and came in before them. So Saul's getting mad jealousy. You know, it's like, how dare they praise him? How dare they praise him? So he tried killing him, but since the spirit of Yahweh, and remember, what we learned is that Yahweh's spirit is with people for his purpose. His purpose is to establish the Israelites to be a blessing for the nation. Like, it's very easy to see the spirit of Yahweh for a selfish thing, but we got to remember that Yahweh's purpose is to bless the nation. Now, if you're new here, my friends, right now is reading a commentary. This is Bible. That was translated. John Goldingay is a very credited Old Testament scholar, First Testament. So he translated this from the Hebrew, and then now he gives us a commentary to help explain, work out what we just read. Queen Elizabeth II declared, 1992, her Annus Horribilis, her horrible year. The phrase is a riff on the expression Annus Mirabilis, miracle year. The phrase divided by the poet John Durden to describe 1666. The year when the English Navy defeated the Dutch Navy, apologies to any Dutch readers, and when the city of London escaped the much greater devastation it might have experienced from the Great Fire of London. Durden ignored the Great Plague of 1665 to 1666. But maybe we took the plagues for granted the way we take it for granted that thousands of people die in traffic accidents every month. For the Queen, 1992 was the year Windsor Castle caught fire and the year the marriages of two of her sons broke up. Saul has had his Annus Mirabilis. Indeed, he has had two of them. The first was the year he rescued the men of Jabesh Gilead. The second was the year David killed Goliath and thus set the Philistines on the run. He now has his Annus Horribilis. Indeed, that is the only kind of year he will have until the end of his life. So, I think it's Latin. So, Annus Horribilis means horrible year, which then Annus Mirabilis means miracle year. And so, it's saying how people have good years and bad years. Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. His problem as king and his problems as father interweave. Perhaps they always do. This will certainly be a motif in David's story, too. But first there is his son. who becomes David's best friend at the same time as Saul comes to view David as his chief enemy, and for overlapping reasons. Saul is not exactly wrong in his view of David. David actually is the person who is going to replace him as king. It ought to be Jonathan, as Jonathan presumably knows, but Jonathan doesn't care. Saul didn't need to be a leader and tried to avoid it. But once he got into that position, he became attached to it. It defines who he is. Maybe Jonathan has watched that and knows he doesn't want to do the same way. He didn't want to go the same way. We have known that his attack on the Philistine garrison in chapter 14 suggests that he has more inbuilt leadership and instinct than Saul. He doesn't need God's Spirit to come on him to make him take a crazy initiative. He is, in fact, like David, the killer of lions and bears. It looks as if this is what drew Jonathan and David. They're both archetypal male heroes. Jonathan could see himself in David. You couldn't simply say there were type A males. One reason is that the whole type A, type B typology is probably a myth. If anything, it's Saul who looks type A. Jonathan lacks the inner need to be a hero, to be a leader. He would have made a better king than Saul or David, but he's not bothered. And Israel's system, like ours, means you end up having as leaders people who want to be leaders, which is a really bad idea. You know that there's this, remember that expression Jesus said? Like you have to lose the world to gain it. You know, like the harder, I think a really good analogy is the harder you cling something. So like we could take the computers for instance. Like the harder I cling to it and say it's mine, the more I lose grip of it. It's like trying to grab water. Like have you
can't grab water, air. You can't
yeah,
grab air.
it takes open hand.
It's like trying to take a bucket of water and it works when you do it. You're like,
All right, Game Legend. It's such a pleasure having you around. I'll catch you later. So it's like water. Like you have to cup it and let what comes into your hand comes into your hands. But the moment you try to seize it, you lose it. And you lose yourself.
it's like trying to grab air with a bucket. It's air everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in doing it.
Jonathan and David have overlapping characteristics, though not identical ones. As well as having no need to be in a leadership position, Jonathan knew how to be someone's friend. He knows about personal relationship. David is clueless about personal relationships. This is key to understanding his story. There is a sense in which the friendship is quite one-sided. See you, friend. Thank you. Love you too. Peace. Jonathan becomes committed to David. All right, sorry, Char. I keep getting distracted by chat. During reading, I'm going to minimize chats so that I can stay focused on the reading for my broheim behind me. Jonathan and David have overlapping characteristics, though not identical ones. So he's saying Jonathan knows how to be a friend, how to work on an interpersonal relationship. David is clueless. As well as having no need to be in a leadership position, Jonathan knew how to be someone's friend. He knows about personal relationship. David is clueless about personal relationships. This is key to understanding his story. There is a sense in which the friendship is quite one-sided. Jonathan becomes committed to David, and speaking of Jonathan's loyalty, the story uses the Hebrew word that suggests love, but that translation can be misleading, and I have thus avoided it. One reason is that the Hebrew words for love and hatred suggest at least as much a moral and political loyalty as an emotion. As when Jesus said disciples have to hate their parents. Middle Eastern political documents talk about underlings loving the superior powers. So Jonathan is making a political commitment to David as well as a personal one. In effect, he is yielding to David the position of Saul's potential successor. The same point emerges from the way the two young men make a covenant, because the Hebrew word for a covenant is also the word for a treaty, a political commitment. The relationship between them has a bit of both about it. So it's interesting. It's like Jonathan is declaring friendship to David, but it's also declaring political allegiance. Wouldn't that just be crazy? Like if I declare my friendship for you, but I'm also saying that you're going to be my mayor. Like, let's say I'm in line to be mayor. I'm like, bro, you are so awesome. I'm going to be
I'm gonna be the mayor. You're gonna be my employee.
Oh, it's like I have a deep friend with you. I'm going to like step down, let you take the mayor position. That's crazy. Jonathan is not the only one who is smitten with David. To start with, all the women in Israel are. You have to be a big man to cope with their enthusiasm for one of your junior officers, and Saul is not a big man. With some irony, this time the story speaks of the bad spirit from God erupting on Saul. The word it had to use of God's spirit bursting on him when Samuel anointed him, and when it inspired him to take action to rescue the men of Gibesh Gilead, and when Samuel anointed David. It even has the result of making him prophesy as he did in the beginning. He behaves in some way that makes it clear that something supernatural is going on. Nothing has changed from when he was anointed, but everything has changed. There was a sense in which it was a bad spirit that came on him when it inspired him to fight against the Ammonites. It was a bad spirit as far as they were concerned, a spirit that aroused energy and meant trouble for them. Now it's a bad spirit in the sense that arouses energy and threatens trouble for David, but David has a charmed life. You can say that God protected David, but the story just says that David evaded Saul. David knows how to watch his back. On the other hand, when Saul sends David on risky missions in the hope that he'll get killed, instead he succeeds on the missions. He goes out and he also comes back as the head of the military unit. And that happens because Yahweh was with him. You could say that he knew how to look after himself, but in this connection, the narrative reminds us that there are these two ways of looking at what happens. Human courage and sharpness are involved, and things will not have turned out the way they do without these. Divine protection is involved, and things will not have turned out the way they do without this. You may have been puzzled about why Saul needs to ask his army commander who David is when he have already been told that David has been the court's resident singer-songwriter for quite a while. It's another indication of the way the narrative about Saul and David has been compiled from a series of independent, overlapping stories that have been put together to give us a composite picture of Saul and David. Without the stories being open to being turned into a neat linear picture, it fits with this that 2 Samuel 29:19 attributes the killing of Goliath to a man called Elhanan. Interesting. It fits with this that 2 Samuel 29:19 attributes the killing of Goliath to a man called Elhanan. There are a number of ways to explain this, but the one that seems most plausible to me is that the process is similar to the one whereby stories get attached to well-known figures such as Robin Hood, or the way stained glass windows glorify biblical heroes. A heroic figure like Robin Hood was a real person who undertook spectacular acts. So telling stories about him that historically concern someone else isn't exactly wrong. The story enables us to understand the person's true significance. Likewise, if it wasn't David who killed Goliath, but someone else, attaching the story to David fills out the picture of David in a way that gives us a true impression of his significance. If this is the kind of thing that happened, it explains why the stories don't form a neat jigsaw. If you think it is inconceivable that God should have colluded with that way of bringing the scriptures into being, you are free to take one of the other explanations, such as that Elhanan is another name for David. Lots of people in the Bible do have more than one name. Either way, we need to read each story in its own right rather than fretting too much about the continuality issues they raise. All right, friend, we can start. Interesting. If you're not, we'd love to see you, friend. Hey, sweet Q. What's up, my beautiful daughter? When we're done dropping off, Char, are you saying we should go to the movies? Oh, I'll have to talk to Mom about that. Oh my gosh, I should drink it. Should drink a water cup. Ah, such a silly goose. Actually, I'm liking this. Have the mystic? You have the mystic. All right. Go to high heavens. Defeat the mystic. Magic resistance too. What a rough start. Oh. Hey, love, can you close the garage door? Thank you. Oh no. uh, Hmm. Oh. Oh, well, welcome back from dinner. That is being very annoying. Better than getting chased. Here we go. I'm gonna take the mini bullets from guys. Woo! How's dinner? Ooh, what a garbage. I don't think the bombs will open up the path is blocked. Got new shoes. Right. I can't because
Oh, you got the little rollies.
Helium.
And it's LED.
Nice. You're not? Love you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Eh. I mean, see some on other corners. Ooh, what's this? Ooh. Ooh. This looks fun.
You know I wouldn't.
I think it was 30% more damage. Oh, I ran right into that.
I would.
Can't see what's going on. So many effects. Oh. I mean, of course, it's choosing to moments that can be, what's the word? I'm thinking. What's the word I'm trying to think? Like, I could be. This time could be deep alone time, you know? But it's, for me, it's the constant. Oh man, I'm losing the words to say. Like, no video game time is ever just me. Like, I'm leaving myself open for Yahweh to call people to him through me. And so it's worth it. It's a work that's worth it. Yeah. But then I do have a lot of rest. Like, I spent a lot of my time with family. When it was ice freezing here, I barely streamed. Like, I have days that dedicated, so tonight and Thursday and Friday night are like my nights where I stream, not during the day. When I'm not doing that, I'm with family, reading the Bible, like, legitimately always, you know, stepping towards the kingdom. Yeah, I don't want. Oh, I have this. Volts. Should I do volts? Yeah, I want a different one. But I'll do lightning. It's fine. Get it upgrade. They have Garni enchantment. That's why they're so chunky. Have enough yet, but I guess I can. Almost there. Yep, not yet. Oh. This man. Well, we'll see. You know, there are a lot more people holier than me, wiser than me, who never get to never get recognition, and I'm okay with that. As long as people that Yahweh wants to use me to talk to people about King Jesus, I'm content. Evil, 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 evil. Right. Whew. Oh. Whoa. Well, I do have a missionary page. At jesusmission.org/CoreyMiller. Or if you go to choosee.org, I have a link on there. That is super awesome of you to ask. Makes me teary, my friend. But yeah, I'll just say as you're partnering with me with advancing the gospel. So if you want to support me as a missionary, like you're partnering in, yeah, that's how Paul will say it. Oh, I love it. I love Jesus, love the gospel, and can't wait for you to see, yeah, as on what King Jesus does with your gift. Oh. Thanks, man. Whew. Oh, lightning resistance. Gosh, that's why he was such a punk. Whew. Yeah. I grew up in a time when both my mom and my sister are on the spectrum, and so I found solace in video games, and I found friendship, but even through all that, there's always that still piece of aspect that's missing. Oh, darn it. Oh, he. Nope. But yeah, it was when I was 14, 13, 14, their allegiance to King Jesus, and my life has been messy, even after that, but the hope and being able to see the world through that lens, through the lens of the Jesus narrative, has helped so much. Like, it's legitimately giving me hope. Yeah, there's made a lot of really cool friends over it, and the goal is to always, I think as, in Matthew 28, it says, go into the world preaching the gospel and baptize people in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You gotta go where the people are. And for me, this is an avenue that I'm very comfortable in. As you go is an imperative. Doesn't mean people have to be have to physically move, it's as you go. And some people see that to be missionaries, and which is awesome. But for me, which I am a missionary, online mission. Oh, darn it. Okay, you guys are getting annoying. Let's finish you. Oh, never mind. They're on the other side. You keep chasing me. Oop. Yeah, as I think of I have friends who never go outside, and in United States culture, it's shunned upon to knock on their door. What's your passion, my friend? I feel like in the past we talked about Rainbow Six Siege and things like that and other games. Oh yeah, it's always, I married someone who clothed herself in righteousness, and so it's always ample amount of grace and always working on communication. Yeah, passions, do you hope on being a fellow streamer? Are you, when Yahweh created the heavens and the earth, he said go and cultivate it, go and live on earth. So we look to him for wisdom. We live on earth, and we can still eat, we can drink, we can find careers, we can find passions, that stuff that we enjoy. People, I have my cousin's really into computer science, so he literally writes code and enjoys creating, drawing, and learning about more about God. That's cool. kind of drawings? My wife's an artist, so I'm curious. I have artistry. Oh, that is cool. Um, that's cool. What kind of drawings do you do? I'm actually like, how do you tell your classmates about Jesus? I'm very curious. How's that look in your area? Oh, just swing. Ah. Oh, let's have a build. Yeah, not getting close. That's a seller. Oh, that's cool. I'm curious, is that like your own passion, or do you have someone who like talked to Jesus about you, gave you hope, and so you want to then talk to Jesus also? That's good, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Good. That's awesome that you read the Bible with your parents. Parents sound really cool. Hmm. That is really cool. My wife actually served in India. I served like did mission work in India. Hey Robin. Where were you in India? In New Delhi? Yeah, she was in New Delhi. Oh. Oh, buddy. I forgot to hit the thing at the blacksmith. A bear mask. Makes me chuckle. Okay. Matter. Alright. Okay, I will be bouncing in about 11 minutes. But it's Tuesday, so Tuesday night after my daughter goes to bed, I should be back on for a bit. If you happen to be there, my friend. But again, you are such a delight. Thank you so much for joining and encouragement. Cool. Okay. I'm guessing you're at 2-hour difference. Get that mountain time. To be honest, I'd rather just the armor suppression at this point. Got to sell it, darn it. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to continue this when I get back. Which then is that glorious part where you step back and don't do too hot because not in the same mindset. That's okay. The game I don't mind. It just makes me get good. Hmm. Alright, Terry, dip in 5 minutes, my friend. Finally. Oh, thanks, mate. Well, I plan on doing this unless Yahweh steers my heart in another direction. I plan on doing this until, until I lay it to rest and see you in my resurrected body. Oh, I keep forgetting to at the blacksmith to repair my armor. Huh.
I'm a
Is
short
it- is it- Okay. Alright. Doing terrible. Good. We're about to go. Alright, let's pawn the things off. Curious. I don't want to sell it. Alright, Char. Get ready to dip, my friend. Gotta go. Back at you, my friend. Oh, we'll definitely see you around each other. Either, I'm hoping very soon, but if not, there's always the age to come where heaven meets earth. Going to see ourselves in our glorified bodies in our eternity. It's gonna be good, my friend. See you, friend. Catch you maybe later, but if not, see you then.